I used to think the worst thing you can do is wake up at 4:30 in the morning on a cold winter's day and do front squats. Front squats in comparison to back squats is just a different ball game, man. It's uncomfortable. The wrists are copping it, the shoulders are copping it, collarbone. Like, it's just an uncomfortable existence, right? When you compare that to a high bar back squat or even a low bar back squat, it's just bad, right? You need a whole lot more mobility, and then when you mix that up with really early morning session, cold, it's just like the last thing your body wants to do is that. It's just so difficult to kind of get it going. Well, this morning I've kind of updated that thought. Overhead squats are far worse at 4:30 in the morning on a winter's day. Far worse than a front squat because it's that much more difficult. Your wrists and collarbone and shoulders are not copping it, but your shoulders and your upper back and mobility is just, you can't get away with anything. If you try to lean over, the bar just starts moving, and then it's a hell of a fight. Front squats, man, they were bad for quite some time. I thought they were the worst kind of version of squats. But overhead squats, man, I've gone from, I remember the first time I front squatted, man, I could do a decent weight, like 60, 80 kilos or whatever. I can't do anything with the overhead squat. Nothing. Empty bar. Literally an empty bar is kicking my ass. It's just mobility. It's mobility. It's the upper body strength to resist that temptation to, just get the bar going forward, really. Just like I need to let go of the lats. And the lats they're an interesting muscle group because, if you think about what lats do, the way I kind of think about it, which kind of precipitates all of my thoughts in one, is if you compare a good morning versus an RDL. Yes, the bar placement is different and the leverage is different. But I feel like the reason good morning is so much more difficult than a RDL is because in a good morning you can't use your lats. When the bar is in your hands in an RDL, you can use your lats. You basically just pinch down your shoulders. And as we know, lats are a huge muscle group. They cover a large percentage of real estate on that back, and they do something. They solidify our back. They help with stability. It's just a beast of a muscle. And so when you compare your RDL max to your good morning max, you will see what difference the lats play. So that's powerlifting, right? These are movements that I've used many times in thinking about improving my squat and deadlift. Well, the overhead squat needs those lats to be long. So you need to let go of those lats. So you are completely unpeeling those lats and fighting all of that intuition that you have to lock down your lats, right? When I squat, when I deadlift, my lats are kind of locked in, right? This is like unpeel your lats, stick the bar way over your head and squat. It kind of feels like a good morning, man, in the sense that I don't have any stability up top. It puts so much more emphasis on the upper back, like the whole traps, shoulder girdle stabilization is just, it's so hard. What I would like to know, I mean, I could probably look this up, but when I get a chance, but a lot of people have said, I know a lot of guys have disagreed with this. A snatch is kind of like half of your deadlift or whatever. Some people have said it should be like 80% of your front squat. That's what a snatch should be. But I'm wondering, what percentage of your front squat should an overhead squat be? If you guys say to me it should be 1-to-1, I'm going to lose my mind. There's no way. I don't think I've ever seen anybody. I've seen a lot of people squat like top-level athletes. Front squat 250, 260, that kind of stuff. In the 80, 90 kilo class, I'm sure the boys at the top, 100 plus kilos, they can do way more. But I've seen people do that, but I've never seen anybody front squat, overhead squat. I want to say, man, I don't know. Like now I'm thinking about Lasha. I mean, Lasha's got a huge amount of snatching or whatever. I guess if you can snatch the damn thing, you should be able to front squat, overhead squat the damn thing. So maybe that's how I should think about it. All the best snatchers in the world can probably overhead squat that weight, obviously, for for reps, which now I'm just stumped, man. So maybe that's the closest thing I should be thinking about. Whatever you can overhead squat is what you can snatch. That's just the way it is. Because you can't do one without the other. You can't do snatch without the overhead squat. So if I just kind of work towards that, improving my overhead squat, obviously the snatch is much more technical than just freaking overhead squatting. But I feel like that is my biggest weakness right now. I don't want to have acceleration to the bar. I don't want to be thinking about catching the bar, getting my body underneath something that I'm just have no stability. So right now I'm thinking to myself, maybe if I get to 100 kilos overhead squat, maybe I can think about, I don't know, snatching 60 or something like that. But I think that's where I'm at right now. It's, man, waking up this early on a cold morning. This is probably the worst thing I can possibly do. As we know, in the morning, man, your body doesn't want to be loose. It does want to be, you're still kind of locked in and whatever. But I think I've come a long way in the last week or 6 days, 7 days, whatever it's been now. I think I've come a long way. I remember the first time on that first session, I couldn't do anything, man. I think I power cleaned 100 kilos, but that was an ugly old thing. And snatching, I didn't even know what I was doing. So, I'm happy. I'm happy first week. Some of you guys have been asking me, when are you going to start adding weight? I don't know, man. I don't really know. The first thing that I will be doing is adding weight to the overhead squat. Until that happens, I ain't touching the snatch at all. And in terms of clean and jerk, I've let that I put that to the side. I don't even think about that. The project right now is the snatch. I want to get the mobility, the stability, the strength to do overhead squats and then snatching. So there's a progress to it. And I understand, 5 kilos in Olympic weightlifting is a lot different than 5 kilos in powerlifting. So I'm going to take my sweet ass time. And I don't think it's costing me anything, to be honest with you. Okay, I spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes every day working with these overhead squats and snatch regressions, whatever you want to call them. And then I get back to my proper work, the powerlifting world. I don't know if you can call it powerlifting world. It's just front squat, back squat stuff, deadlift accessories. So it's a nice little spot I am right now. To be honest with you, I actually look forward to the Olympic weightlifting part because, you walk in, you look at that bar, you're like, all right, let's go. It's like, that's my max weight for today. And my warm-up weight. It's a funny old thing. And it's a massive, massive challenge. It kind of reminds me, we've spoken about this over the last week. It kind of reminds me when you first kind of start a video game and everything's so damn hard, right? You don't have any gear, your character's pretty shit. And so you got to be very, very careful. You can't just run in and pack of 10 and start chopping them up. It's very, very difficult. Just existing is difficult. And the other thing is the hook grip, right? Man, I've deadlifted 220 with a hook grip back in the day when I was, using hook grip. This is probably now 5 years ago now. And I conditioned my fingers. I was basically hook gripping every single day. There was a period that I was deadlifting every day. And I conditioned my thumbs, to take it all right. Now even the bar, man, it's so strange how it works. The skin's copping it a little bit, which is a concern for me, right? I said many times to you, the reason why I don't hook grip is because of the whole nursing thing. I don't want to have snapped up skin on my hands. You got to wash your hands every day, a million times. You got to use alcohol gel. It's not the most pleasant thing. Infection control, all that stuff. So I don't want to have beat up hands. But yeah, I can't believe it. It's not just the skin. It's also the thumb. It's all kind of hurting. It's just an empty barbell. I think it's because I've never hook gripped that wide. It kind of puts a bit of a torque to it. But when you have your thumbs, when you have your grip, straight up and down, it feels like it's a lot easier. The snatch grip, I don't know, there's a pulling motion and a ripping motion to the side as well. It's kind of it's a double whammy. You just cop it from every angle. But anyway, so many different changes, so many different things to consider. Right now, it's just going to be the barbell for quite some time. And when I can start kind of repping 10, 20 rep sets with the overhead squat, then I'm going to start adding a bit of load. And then we'll go from there. But I reckon almost the first week of Olympic weightlifting done, and I'm quite happy. All right, guys, let me go get ready and go to work, I guess. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Appreciate all of you guys in the comments again. Patreon list, Instagram, legends. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.